If you are joining us from the summit, hi, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Mr. Producer's over there. He's listening to make sure all our sound is good. So nice to see you all. I think you've had a busy day. I bet you've been at the summit learning all sorts of stuff. Really good stuff, huh? This is Craft Roulette. I am Mary Gunn of Mary Gunn Fun, your intrepid host of Craft Roulette. What is Craft Roulette? You've been asking it all day, haven't you? Well, in a nutshell, it is the ultimate paper crafting game show challenge, card making game show challenge, and we're here live almost every Friday night, saving a seat for you. You're always welcome to join us. You can be in the chatterbox, you can sit back in your comfy chair, eat your popcorn. I was watching Justine today, eating popcorn, just sitting there having the bestest old time. I would never have had that much fun in a theater. That's all I got to say about that. But this is what we do almost every Friday night. We are going to be spinning for some parameters that we don't know what we're going to do yet. We're going to be making some cards. We're going to do a lot of chatting. We aren't going to do any teaching. We're not even probably going to talk about organizing. That's for tomorrow and the replays of today. Are you guys from the summit? Say hi. We've got a beautiful, beautiful group to welcome you. We call them the chatterboxes. We have a lot of terms here that you may not know here on Craft Roulette. So if you think, what are they talking about? They're stretchy pants and kiss your brain and all these things. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You've worked hard enough today. It's been a long week, right? I think, for most of us. Oh, so, do I have anything else I have to tell there? Oh, the slideshow. Oh, holy smokes. Were you enjoying that? Did you see the 4 parameters and how all the different 249 interpretations were? They were outstanding, you guys. You did such a beautiful job. We had cards from decks of cards. We had card tables. We had tables all over the place. We had makeup tables. We had tables of contents. So many wonderful cards. It was remarkable. If you want to see them all again, you can go back after we're done and watch the replay of the first 20 minutes, or you can go to craftroulette.live. There's a ton of galleries there. As a matter of fact, this is our 160th show. So there are 158 galleries, I think, right now on that website. 159. Carol Hodges is asking, what is the summit? We will tell you here in just a bit when Justine comes on. She knows all the answers. We do want to thank our spin sponsors this week. Our spin sponsors are people that offer wonderful things for our giveaways for people who have sent in cards the week before. We want to thank the Paper Crafters Get Organized Summit. That's what that is. We want to thank This Calls for Confetti. They are giving away a $25 gift certificate. And Whimsy Stamps, who is also giving away a $25 gift certificate. Plus, there's another one. Surprise! There is a Cricut Card Summit VIP giveaway. I mean, this is good stuff, right? You send in a card and you're eligible for these things. No question what you do on the weekends from now on. You're right here on Craft Roulette, and you're getting those prizes all for you. We are not sponsored by any company. We are sponsored by our patrons. If you want more information about that, we have a lovely group of crafters and craftettes that send in a little bit of money or a lot of money every month, and we give them some bonus content, including, I think I'm up to 4 Zoom calls a month. Because we like them, plus a Zoom call every other month with all the patrons, and we started a new Zoom call, which will be this Thursday, and it's the Happy Birthday Card Surprise Party. I can't remember, I don't have a name for it. Anyway, we go together and make some birthday cards for our patrons who are having a birthday the next month. It's very stacked and very many things going on here. We do have our wonderful Mr. Mike. I didn't change his clothes. He's still wearing his beautiful sweater jumper from Marianne Hill in England and her little squash bot here that she sent me because we like robots here. I do have some merchandise also. We want to get to Justine, though, as fast as we can because she has been up since the crack of dawn and she's been so busy this week getting ready for this summit. And it's midnight in Germany. So from Germany, please give a good, warm Craft Roulette welcome to Justine Hovey.
Hello.
Yay! You look like you're in the middle of the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
It's 1:30, it's all.
1:30. I was off an hour. Well, we want to get you crafting. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in the middle. Do you stay up? Are you a night owl?
I used to be before I moved to Germany, and they have a whole other idea of what time you get up in the morning. Like, in Canada, school started at 9. Here, school starts at 7:30. I used to be a night owl, not anymore.
No, that's serious change. That's a serious change. Not only do you have the adjustment for the location, but then just the hour. That's a lot. Ooh, that's early.
Yeah.
Well, for those two people that have not met you, ma'am, could you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Me? Yeah, sure. I always seem like I'm talking about myself when I come on this thing.
Just for a few minutes. We're going to get you to crafting here as fast as we can.
So I'm Justine Hovey. I am a card maker. I started card making on YouTube 1,000,001 dinosaur years ago. And I create card making tutorials. And I have a VIP club, kind of like Craft Roulette does. And we have a small, awesome little group that comes together for live classes. I create digital classes, so I like to solve crafty problems. Like, what happens when you have time and you sit at your desk and you don't know what to do? Or how do you get more out of your stamps because they're expensive and we want to use them lots? And all kinds of things. So, and then my latest endeavor is the Paper Crafters Get Organized Summit.
Which is going on. And if you do not know what that is, can you tell us just a little bit about what that is?
Sure. So the Paper Crafters Get Organized Summit runs this whole weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And what it is 27 craft experts. So usually YouTubers like myself who are in paper crafting, whether it be card making, scrapbooking, Cricut, that type of thing. They've all come together to create a lesson for you. It's kind of like going to school. It's kind of like going to college. You come and you pick your classes and you go to your classes that you want to go to that interest you the most. And the cool part is it's free. And you get to watch the videos for 24 hours. And so that it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Nobody in Australia needs to get up at the crack of dawn or the middle of the night like me.
Right.
And then we have our option to have lifetime access, of course, if you want to get all of those classes and watch them over and over and over again and binge watch them. You can do that too by upgrading. But essentially, it's just a fun weekend of coming together for craft organization and bonding over our craft hoards.
Because there are different crafting hobbies. There's the buying of the crafting hobbies. Yes. There's collecting. There's enjoying just looking at it. That's fine. That's legitimate. It's not bad. And then there's the creating. So you've got all these different things. They're not bad, any of them in particular, until they get toxic and they're bothering you, and then you need to go ahead and figure out something. But it's been great. I watched it today. I'm sorry?
I think we forgot the paper strokers and the stamp smellers and the
Oh, there's that. Yeah, that's true. Some people just need to decorate a room after all, and why not? This is my craft room. It looks so clean, said no one ever when they walked into my room. But so you've been very busy with that all day. You can still get a free ticket. Is that correct?
You can.
Okay. And you can still get a VIP bundle too. So, yeah. So we'll get that all taken care of. I don't know if it's down in the description, but we'll add it if we need to. You had a question for me that people have been asking you all day. What is that question?
What is Craft Roulette?
Let's find out. We're so glad to have everybody here. I'm going to run out of breath. We're so glad to have everybody here. Let's do this.
What is Craft Roulette? Craft Roulette is a live paper crafts challenge show where the goal is to complete a project that has been randomly selected by the spin of a wheel. There are 4 categories we spin for: project, colors, element, and random. Each category has 24 possible options with a combined possibility of 331,776 unique projects. Whoa. We're live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central on youtube.com/craftroulette. Please like and subscribe. Each week we bring on a special guest crafter to create along with us and share their unique take on the challenge. You can play too. Complete a unique project of your own using the same 4 parameters set in this episode. You'll have 48 hours to contribute by submitting pictures of your project through the submission form on craftroulette.live. Contributions are featured on marygunfund.com's weekly episode blog and the next episode. Let's recap last week's episode and submissions.
Now you know what Craft Roulette is, and we are here almost every Friday night at 6:10 for the slideshow, Central Daylight Time, 6:30 for the show when it starts. And I know a lot of people in the chatterbox will come in a little bit early and just start chit-chatting with each other from their red chair, their brown chairs. I saw some of you dancing on your chairs. I was a little bit nervous that later in the show we'd be finding cheddar chat boxes going, I'm in the ER. I was dancing on the chair. So don't be careless. This is going to be a great night. So anyway, we do like to celebrate a lot of our achievers, and we don't have a whole lot this week, but we're going to talk about our first-timers, our major milestone achievers, which are 25, 50, 75. I think we only have one this week. That's so funny. And what else do we talk about? Leading ladies, new to Club 52, and good news mug clubbers. I got all of your mugs ordered. So be watching for those. We have 2 more spots for our mug clubbers with a personalized mug. And that means that you have sent in 100 cards, if you're wondering what a mug clubber is. And then we're going to go to a different format. But look at all of those wonderful pins all over the world. Chris, hola. I saw you in the chatterbox. I don't see you on the map this week. And lots in Canada and lots in the United States. Our Europe is building. All of our good friends in Australia, South Africa. Oh man, Japan. We're getting them all over. And it's so very, very nice. I love it very much. So we're going to see some cards. Oh, this was my card. Okay, so the parameters last week were a card on a card, sky view were the colors, table was the element, and you had to include white spots or dots. This was my card. It was supposed to be a table that I just made out of cardstock, and then I put little greeting cards on top of it. And if you open it up, it's broken into one of my favorite sentiments. You are a wonderful person. So that was my card. We had a great time with our guest, Ardith, who you may have seen on the summit today. She has been to the show 9 times now. She is one of our favorite guests, and she made this card. Look how she used a card on a card. She just did, okay, so she made a small card on top of a card. She had sky blue view, and her table was from the top of a table, a place setting. And then her white spot was that great big plate. She's brilliant. We love having her on. And she's working in the chatterbox, I see. You guys are asking her questions. She's a very great woman. Please give her all the love and adoration she deserves. Thank you, Ardith. Now, for our first timers, who do we get to welcome?
This is on a timer.
Yes. So I'm not talking all the time. Lisa Sigler, a first timer from South Carolina. That was cute. Jennifer Villalobos, a first timer from California. Please notice how different these cards tend to be. Suzanne Crabb from Bavaria, Germany. Welcome. We're so glad to have you. Even in German, I think. I have to ask Justine. Lisa Broomer from Missouri, USA. Poker night, ladies. Poker night. Megan W. from Alabama sent in her first card, and she's got a little tiny... I love those little tiny cards. I think they are the cutest little element. I love them. Monica M. from Switzerland sent in her card with her little squirrel. I had to think of Lydia Fiedler. She'd take that card if she could. Major milestone Tony T. has sent in 25 cards. She used a playing card. Kind of a mixed media thing. Very cool. And our leading ladies, Jackie Muller from South Australia, with 120. She's also a zero hero, but that's another story. Smurf Murphy is her twin in California with 120 submissions as well. She went with a picnic table. Kathy Herring is our leading lady number 4. She has some cute little mice there going through all sorts of things with her 124th card. 5K now 6K Lamone has sent in 126 cards. If you're wondering what she's talking about, 5K, 6K, it's a long story. Ellen Card Monkey Jarvis has sent in 137 consecutive cards, and this was one of her best. It was a beaut. Patty Beck is our leading lady with 154 consecutive cards. She lives in Tennessee. She's been sending in cards since episode 5. I remind you, this is episode 160. Congratulations and welcome to Club 52, Rachel Castle. It's so nice to hear from you. And birthday Bob Sadler has hit the big 5-2. Whoa! Well done, birthday Bob. I'm proud of you. Club 52 just means you have sent in 52 cards. It doesn't mean that you get any perks. You don't get a sticker. You don't get any kind of discount at Starbucks. Nothing. You just have bragging rights that you have sent in 52 cards, and we think that's good enough. Well done, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us last week. You did great. You really did. Go to craftroulette.live after the show if you could and enjoy that wonderful gallery. Look who's back. She's back and ready to spin. Those were good cards, huh?
Is it time?
Yes.
It is. They are. Okay, so we do have a little history of you being on the show. Justine actually did part of the show, and then many moons ago...
We tried something novel, and it didn't work.
And so I went to see how the show was so I could review it before the show went premiered.
We tried to pre-record a show because we were going to do a New Year's Eve show, and Justine was in Germany, and we thought because of the time difference, she wouldn't want to come on the show late at night. And so we tried something, and there was no sound after we recorded, and we thought there was sound. And so it was awful.
Yep, I went to watch it.
It was awful.
That is Mr. Producer, by the way. He is the man behind all the technology here on Craft Roulette, and he does a splendid job. Yep, I went to watch the show because I thought, I got to review it a little bit, and there was like no sound. And I was like, did I forget something? User error was my first thought. But I tried it a couple times. Nothing happened. So I told Mr. Producer, and he said, I think there's a problem. And boy, was there, Houston. There was a big problem. So we ended up getting Biddy Penny on. Now she is the New Year's show every year. So you have some experience with this Mr. Wheel. What we're going to do is we are going to give him warm-up spin.
Hold on, we're not on that.
We're going to bring in the parameters.
Do vetoes and everything.
Oh, yes, I knew that. There are the parameters. There's 24 in every column. That means we can have all sorts of combinations. We do like to give our patrons an opportunity to veto a couple of those each and every week. That means if Mr. Wheel lands on that vetoed item, we're going to spin it again. It doesn't mean that you can't use it, but it means that we cannot be dictated by this crazy wheel guy. So the patrons this week, 4 colors, have vetoed Daisy Garden number 6. They don't want that for our color palette. It was a horse race too, man. That one and what was the other one? Ice Cream Store was neck and neck for quite a while. For Element, they said no notes. We don't care for the notes, and I'll find it.
I got it.
You got it. They said no notes, and I don't know about this one. This one is seems like a lot of fun. For Random, they said ixnay to the fuzz. So we don't have to use fuzz this week. Now, if you want to use fuzz, you can. But if it fits in the parameters that we will get, because there's no parameter that says no fuzz. So that's how that one works. But we do like to offer you, Justine, our guest, a chance to veto something. Is there something on that board that would just make your night worse than ever?
I'm looking here, and it is going to be under elements, number 20, transportation.
Transportation. It's not very well liked.
I don't think I have anything for that.
There you go. There you go.
You don't want a sketch. It's not pretty.
Well, that's fair. That really is. Now, if you got your way tonight with Mr. Wheel, what would you have him give you?
It's time to put your chips on the table.
What would you like for a project tonight?
Now, am I picking one from each category or just one thing?
Yep.
One
Your
from each
perfect card
category.
combination.
My perfect card combination would be for project, I believe a split in the middle.
All right,
I like that
that's
idea.
Number 23.
I would go through, yes, probably number 18 under colors, circus colors. Why not?
That's a good one.
And I like the idea of number 4, a plant under elements. And under random, I think I would like number 22, a book page.
Book page. A book page with plant, circus colors, and split in the middle. That would make a great card. We'll see what we can get. You know, it may be that the parameters that we do get, you can still use some of those. We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, you may have something already started in your head. So let's give this guy a warm-up. Sue Masoner saying, let's do it. Paperclip is still on the board, Brenna. Okay, for project, what will we get tonight? Please, she's up in the middle of the night, Mr. Wheel. Give her that split in the middle. Doesn't look good. Your card choice. Oh, bingo. That's good. For colors. Number 8, Strawberry Fields Forever. And for element, you could have some circus colors in that strawberry field. Number 13, a chair. I just ordered a stamp from 3 Room Studio that has a chair in case I ever got that. It's not here. And for random, so we had table last week, we have chair this week. I almost didn't put it up there yet. Gingham or plaid?
Okay.
If you've been watching Ardith, you know all about making gingham. She's got all sorts of tricks. Okay, so let's talk about each and every one of these. We don't tell you what to do here, except for including those 4 parameters on your project. We are all about your creative expression, and we view this as your art project. And so, art projects, if you think about them, can be very literal, like, hey, Google, what's a chair? To, hey, Picasso, what's a chair? And they're going to be completely different interpretations, plus all the areas in between. So, we don't say that you have to use each and every one of these parameters in a big way. You can sneak them in, but they've got to be there. And also, when you do send in your card, which we hope you will, you do it digitally, and you have a chance to explain your little mischief where you figured out how to do it. And so that when we're looking at the card, we look at it and we try to find the parameters, and then we go, Uncle, I don't know where you put it. And so we can read your description and see how you fit that all in. So, card of your choice. Are you going to split it in the middle?
I may.
There you go.
We'll see.
A2, I think we'll get a lot of A2s. We usually do. It's kind of the card of choice.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go big, or you can go into a mini 3x3 if you want, if you can put the chair on there and all that. I mean, you can go anywhere you want. You can do a fun fold. A lot of people like Z folds or Z folds, or just a good old A2. What is your favorite card?
Generally, I make the standard A2.
We're so comfortable with them, but they're nice. Yes, you heard me, Ardith. I said Z. I also said Z. So, well, Justine is originally from Canada, aren't you? Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be respectful. So, okay, so we'll see what we come up with card choice. I'm not really sure, but in a pinch, I'll go A2 every time. Colors, Strawberry Fields. Okay, you can go Beatles if you want. You can go to the Beatles album with Strawberry Fields on it and use all those colors if you'd like. Or you can go, I think of reds, greens, blues for the sky. You could add colors from an insect. So if you would want to, you could add a beautiful yellow for butterflies or weeds in a strawberry field. Browns, always. Mice, you can sometimes find mice in strawberry fields, so you could add some little gray things to it. It doesn't mean that your card needs to have strawberry fields on it, but it's okay if it does. A lot of times people will take two parameters and mash it together, and it's often the element with the colors, which is just fine because your brain just starts doing these things and they start putting things together because brains really do like order. And watch this, Justine, and organization.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's kind of just a little bit of guidelines on strawberry fields. You don't have to have all of the colors of a strawberry field. You can have something more precise, like all mostly red, whatever you like. We love stuff like that. Yes, Sharon from the red chair. Yellow blossoms, that would be another thing. And white blossoms and little, it would be, I love those colors. It could be Christmas.
There was just a question in chat. Where do you get the palettes for the challenge? There are none. It is up to you.
Yep. We're all about you just figuring out what you want to do with it. And so I know some people like to Google those things. And so they'll Google Strawberry Fields color palette and they'll find things there. And I know there's a popular thing right now, the color box. And so I don't know if they have Strawberry Fields, but because I just make these things up. So anyway, Strawberry Fields has been on for a long time. So Justine, what's coming to your mind?
Mostly I'm dreading the chair. I'm secretly trying to go through my stamp database in my brain to figure out if I own a chair stamp, a chair die. I don't think I do. So this was going to be interesting. And then, I'm excited about the plaid. I'm excited about Strawberry Fields. I'm also thinking reds and greens, which is perfect for plaid to begin with. So yeah, I have a few little ideas in my head and the chair is blocking them.
Let's talk about chair then.
Then let's go to that chair and figure out how to beat that chair. Okay, Chatterbox, this is when you shine so beautifully. We got a beach chair there. How about a beanbag? You could make a...
What is a chair? Is
what
it
is
just
a
a place
chair?
to sit?
You could have a three... Okay, here's another thing. We've got the Gina story.
Yes.
Gina K was on a couple months ago. She got... What was the faux leather was her
random
parameter. She used Tom's stool to stamp. She inked it up and then she stamped on it. So you could actually use your chair as a stamp if you really wanted to.
You just have to let us know.
But
that is 100% fair game.
So you could. Yep. There's also like little 3-leg stools. So if you had a little piece of wood and you could put just cut a little piece of paper and add 3 little chairs, a park bench. A bench would be a real easy chair option.
True.
And then you could put a plant on it.
A bench, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm looking here. I have a fireplace mantle that could maybe be transformed.
Oh, my. Yes,
Perfect.
absolutely. I saw Patty made something that said good. That was good. A committee chair. That's very clever. Ink your chair. Yep. Chairman of the board. Very clever. Chair lift, rocking chair, Adirondack chair. I know there's Stampin' Up! Has a bunch of those. Camp chair. Oh my, we've got chairs galore. Chair lift for a skier. That's what Patty Bax was. That was good.
Tree stump as a chair.
A throne. Yeah, a little squirrel sitting on a tree stump could be his little chair. I cherish you. Oh, a bicycle seat.
I like that.
Oh, man. You guys, a gnome sitting on a mantle becomes a chair, a lawn chair, an exercise ball. Oh, yeah.
Cheerleader.
A cheerleader, my favorite.
Love it.
Those are wonderful. Those are wonderful. There's nothing to stop us from doing something with a chair. Yeah, that's very, very good.
I think I'm good now. Thank you very much for the chat boxes.
Oh, they are brilliant. Wheelchair. Yes. Oh, but the exercise ball. We could even have you could make a circle die and make it an exercise ball. You could have somebody falling off of one. I hope that is not the kind of chair they were dancing on, Justine. Because they will definitely be in the ER before the night's over. All right. Well, does that give us some ideas?
Let's talk about plaid just really quickly,
sure.
So that the chat might get some ideas from the experts here.
Well, for plaid, I would go, if you don't know what to do and you don't have any plaid paper, I would go to Ardith's channel, honestly. She's done a lot of how to make plaid 15 different ways. But if you want to have it all done before the show's over, that's a whole nother thing. But I know you can make plaid is basically just 90-degree angle colors, right? It's either, I've seen it done with plaid with watercolor or ink blending, stencils. You can, if you have a line stencil, you can just ink that up, twist it 90 degrees, do it the other way, and you've got a plaid, or gingham. So if you have gingham also, you have that option. Crisscross lines in multiple colors, or just Copics lines. Don't have to have it on the whole background, remember? You can just have it in a small area. You could have a gnome's outfit be plaid. Different things like that. So don't feel like you have to have a big bedspread of plaid, even though being the Scottish woman I am, I wouldn't mind that. So, yep. Or tartans. If you have some material that has plaid, you could add that if you don't have the paper. So what do you like to do for plaid then, Justine? What comes to mind?
Stencils coming to my mind. I'm pretty sure I have a stamp too. But I think a stencil will be fun to get a few different colors in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think, yes, bagpipes. That's right. We're going to break into Amazing Grace or Scotland the Brave here any minute. So before that happens, let's go ahead and find out what we do on Tuesday night on this same channel. Are you ready, Justine?
I am.
Let's get it done. Does card making ever wear you out? Are you just having one of those days? You ever say to yourself, I wish there were more craft roulette on each week? Well, have we got good news for you? In Review is like part 2 of Craft Roulette, which features you, our card contributors. It'll be easy to find because it airs here on our Craft Roulette YouTube channel. We go live almost every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central, and we do a number of fun things during the show, including Mail Call, where I share some of the nice cards and goodies people send us. our card showcase, where we take a longer look at some of the contributions sent in from the most recent episode, and our Who Done It mystery game, where I recreate a card from the most recent episode's gallery live on air. Everyone in the live chat gets to try and figure out which card I'm recreating. So, if you want more of what we do on Craft Roulette, you'll love our show in review. The Who Done It mystery game is just a game, and we do not actually solve mysteries, but we do actually solve mysteries. The show is supposed to be on Tuesdays, but we reserve the right to reschedule as necessary. Mary will not always know what she is doing, especially with buttons and or math. Stretchy pants and snacks are not required, but advisable. Please bring a friend. Too much fun for one person included. That might be it.
All right.
That might be it. I thought I had a chair stamp, and I don't know where it is, so we're just going to...
What are you going to do? Oh, no!
Oh, I found the chair stamp.
The show's saved.
That was so close. That was so close. But, you know, you look through your stamps and you start seeing things differently when you're looking for when you're on the search for a parameter. So, okay, so I had this old chair stamp. It's got tons of chairs, and I've used them, but it's been a heck of a long time. And then here's this girl, and she is in a chair. And she's very darling too, but and it has one of my favorite sentiments. How beautiful it is to do nothing and then rest afterwards. One of my favorites. I don't live by it, but I sure like it. Let's go with this one. And what I think we can do, I was going to make some plaid and cut out the chair. So I'll probably cut her out second there. I'll make some plaid first. That's what we'll do. Let's do it.
Sue wants to know what the number of that stamp is.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, my. D1143, ma'am. It's an old one from close to my heart. Old one. But if you have one of those organized things called Evernote, you can find it. I don't. So, isn't that a great sentiment, Karen? I really like it too. I do. Okay. So my plaid.
And Justine will be right back. She's gathering her stuff. All right, we'll bring her back on. She's ready. Or somewhat ready.
Somewhat ready.
You're back.
All right. Well, she's got her stencil ready.
Well, I think I got to flip her around 1 second.
I think I'm upside down.
Yeah, I got it.
We good now? No.
Oh, it takes me a second.
Oh, sure. All good. So we had Strawberry Fields, gingham plaid chair, and what was the last one?
Your card choice, so
Card choice. Okay.
you can
so
forget that one right away. Oh my. Are you okay?
How's Germany doing? Are we okay over there?
Yep. We are good. My hot machine fell down.
2. All righty. Well, did you see I'm going to be making a girl in a beach chair.
Okay. I like it. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna.
What are you thinking there?
I am thinking. There we go. I am thinking a plaid, somewhat of a plaid background. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The chair, I'm using the word cherish. It's going to be somewhat Christmassy though, because the only cherish I have in my whole stash is cherish the season. So
That works.
we're going Christmas in April.
That's no problem. You're just getting ahead of the game. We have a viewer, Christina Brome, who's in Sweden, stays up every Friday night, and she makes a Christmas card every week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's made purple bananas and everything else.
Interesting one to explain.
Yeah, but it made sense. It was the oddest thing, but it made sense. She makes quite the masterpieces. So we'll be having chair with the sentiment and chair with a beach. So we've got lots of things going on. That's good. I like variety. So I dare say that our cards are going to be completely different.
That's a nice thing, isn't it? About craft Roulette.
Yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of, well, she's making it just like the other one.
I think that's almost impossible at this point.
We just get to bring our own styles and personalities. I think it's grand. If you are just joining us, this is Craft Roulette, the ultimate paper crafting card making game show challenge that is every week, and we just got our parameters for what we will be making this evening. I am being joined tonight by Justine Hovey, who is it's her midnight, no, it's about 2 o'clock now, I think, in Germany. Yep. So we're going to be crafting as fast as we can so that we can get her to bed. It's going to be fine. Okay. So one of these girls is going to be cut out, and one of these chairs are going to be cut out. So this is going to look really bad, girl, but it's going to be okay in the long run, okay? Here we go. That little smear, that's okay. That's the way it goes. Darker color, I forget. This is going to be my plaid. Oh, your plaid's... So you're a pooler girl, right? Is that right?
I am. Yep.
Yeah. There was lots of talk about that today, and with Catherine on the summit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She guessed it.
That was real nice.
Yeah, it was great to have her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love my Catherine Pooler inks.
You guys are... I don't have any, but I know those who do have them are rabid fans.
Yeah, they're good. And I used to always think nobody could ever convince me to buy an ink refill, but Catherine has, because it's worth it.
No, I do like a refill, because you can do so many things with them too. Do you make a lot of cardstock like Ardith does with her paper or her inks?
Not usually. I don't use a lot of colored cardstock. I usually do something like this. So I ink backgrounds or stencils, things like that. So I do use them for ink blending or the oxide inks. I use both. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely get the use out of the ink pads, that's for sure. But I don't stamp in a lot of colors, so I got to use them for something.
Right.
Backgrounds it is.
Really quickly, for all the new people joining us, if you're having questions about how we do our schedule, how long it takes, or how long you have to submit, how to submit, we have a website, craftroulette.live. It has all of that. It will even tell you how long you have or what time is the deadline in your own time zone. So, because there's a lot of time zones here, and it gets very confusing very fast.
Very fast.
I'll put the link in the chat right now, though. So just craftroulette.live should have everything you need.
It is loaded with info. I was going to make her suit red, but her suit's black. Well, her book can be read. She's reading a red book, so it's red.
Jay Thomas says, being a pooler girl sounds very fancy.
If inky fingers is fancy, then I'm down for it.
High society right there.
Reminds you of a better day, a better time when you were at your craft room. Oh, there is the back of her hair. Okay. I got thrown off. Thought she just had really thin hair.
A couple people are asking the name of that stencil, Justine, if you don't mind.
That is a great question. Do I know? I'm 90% sure it's from Pink Fresh Studio. I can take a quick look.
Oh, that looks great.
Yes, it is the Diamond Plaid Stencil Set from Pink Fresh Studio.
Perfect.
You can zoom in a little bit. You're doing kind of close work.
Okie doke, little lady. We're going to cut this chair out first. Well, Justine, I know it's the middle of the night and you have answered a million questions today, but our patrons have some questions for you as well. The good news is you know all the answers.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
I am.
Okay. It will help you keep awake, too.
Good.
Justine, Gwen Simmons, who does Waffle, which is a word game that she and I both do every day, she asked, how did you get started in paper crafting?
I had, or I have, I should say, a cousin that had a baby, and I was, I think, a teenager at the time, and I saw her creating a scrapbook at the time, and I was like, I can do that. So I've always been the type of person, I think Tiffany Solario was talking about it today, who always had creative ideas, but I wasn't good at art class or anything like that. I didn't understand things, like taking your time and things like that. Not my thing. And when I discovered paper crafting, it was great because I didn't have to have any sort of like fine art talent. I just needed to put things together. And so it happened to fulfill my creativity in the way that I was looking for so long. And stamping did that for me in the beginning. And I mean, still does do a lot for me, but now I branch into things like die cutting and stenciling and all those different things. So that's how it all kind of began.
Yeah. Stamping is a great thing for that because people get to, I've often said it, they get to make something really adorable, cute, very fulfilling, and then they get to hold it out and go, I made that.
Yes.
And people that may not be able to, that's chair, cut that off. People that may not feel comfortable drawing can still make images that are recognizable and have some fun with it. And it just makes it special to get a handmade kind of something.
I think so.
Did you ever scrapbook then, or did you just go little bit, I'm going to cards? Okay.
I scrapbooked, a few trips that I had taken and things. And so I started scrapbooking, but I am of the generation that loves instant gratification.
Yes. Yeah.
And it just took too long to do an album. And I always think to myself, I'm going to go back and do it maybe, or art journaling or something like that. But right now I just kind of stick to my cards. And
yeah, that's good. Well, it's always there for you. What do you do with your photos, or do you take photos anymore?
I do take photos. They're all on my phone.
Right.
They're there.
Gotcha.
They're there.
Because I know some people don't even take photos anymore because they used to take them when they first started getting digital. And then it was becoming like, oh, now this is just too much. I don't even take them anymore. So
I definitely am trying to be more of a person that kind of stays in the moment of things and isn't hiding behind a camera to film everything or to, that kind of thing. But I do still take photos of important moments for sure.
So we were talking before the show of people having their own styles and not being able to, even though we try other people's styles, sometimes we probably aren't quite as good at them because we haven't practiced. But what would you...
because we're not them.
What would you say your favorite go-to technique and card size? We already discussed A2, but what would you say your favorite go-to technique is?
Probably ink blending is the thing I do the most. I like the fact that it's inexpensive. You don't need a lot of supplies, and the versatility of it is really good. So if I'm using a stencil, I can use every color of the Catherine Pooler rainbow and get a different look.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say ink blending. Heat embossing is a close second, though.
So do you have stations in your craft area then? I saw your box and everything, but do you have it set up in stations or kind of like things?
It's always an evolving process. My craft space. I mean, if you're watching the Paper Crafters Get Organized Summit, my session is called 3 Countries, 7 Craft Rooms, and How I Finally Got It Right. And even alone in this apartment, I've had 3 separate craft areas in 3 years, just because the first time I set it up in the hallway. And then the tax man came and said that if I want to be able to write off my craft room, I have to have 4 walls. And
real?
So I had to
How
move
interesting.
guest bedroom. And so I moved into the guest bedroom, and then the pandemic happened and home office happened. And then I never got to see my craft room, which is how the idea, the brand box or a dream box for organization was always kind of a dream of mine, but it was never one of those realistic dreams because I'm cheap. And that was when I decided to get one of these. And now I craft in the hallway, back in my hallway. It is what it is. And so I have my brand box, and it's set up a lot of it is set up in stations in the sense of each box, or like they come with a lot of 12 by 12 plastic containers, and box kind of has a technique in it. And the only station I have outside the box is my die cutting station. I have it on a Roscog from IKEA, one of those rolling carts. And I use that for my die cutting station. So majority of my dies are there with my die cutting machine and my plates and all of that stuff. So yeah.
What would we have done without IKEA as crafters?
The funny thing is I'm going to see if I can zoom out my camera just a little bit there. I grew up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, which is in the middle of nowhere, and to say the least. And there was no IKEA, and IKEA actually doesn't even really deliver there on a good day. And so I lived without IKEA for a really long time. Walmart was a close second. But I made do for a really long time with things like photo boxes and Dollar Tree storage, or Dollarama storage as it is in Canada. So yeah. And now that I actually live in the area of an IKEA, and when you renovate an apartment and things like that, fun fact, in Germany, usually your apartments don't come with a kitchen. So if you move, you usually have to buy a kitchen. It's a weird thing. Oftentimes no light bulbs or doorknobs as well. It's very strange. So IKEA is kind of like the thing I love and hate in equal measure, because when you have to go there like 5 times in 1 week, it's not fun anymore.
Oh, no, it's big. It's really big.
Furnish your craft. That's different.
Yeah. Wow. So that probably encourages you to stay in one place for a while, though, huh? If you have
for
to.
the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to always rent fully furnished, so we didn't have to deal with it, but this is the first time we haven't. So.
Oh, big. Yeah, it's different. I did have an apartment one time, and it was so small. The the kitchen, quote unquote kitchen, was in a old closet, but the refrigerator didn't fit in it, so the refrigerator was in my living room. But
awesome.
yeah, it was fun. It was little. It was little. It was fun. Yes, she's just getting out in the sun right now, Nyoka. I'm sorry. She just hasn't started tanning at all. She's still very, very wintry. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with all this space here. We may go really clean. It's okay. Well, those are Kelly Hughes, patron Kelly Hughes. Was a really nice lady. I've enjoyed getting to know her. Do you have a bucket list?
A bucket list like for life or for travel or for crafting?
Whatever you'd like to take, wherever you'd like to take that question.
I definitely have a travel bucket list. A bucket list for life. I don't think I plan ahead that far.
Travel bucket list. Do you get to travel Europe very often?
Not as much as I would have liked to in the last couple of years for obvious reasons, but
right.
I do enjoy traveling and day trips and things like that. And so in Europe, I still have plenty of the East to explore. And my top 3 destinations, I think, at the moment, it changes now and again, are Japan, I really want to go to. I really want to go to South Africa. And I really want to go to Iran, which sounds really odd to a lot of people, but I think it's probably, landscape-wise, one of the most beautiful countries. And one day maybe.
Yeah. Well, those are fairly different on the scope of things there.
Yes.
Very interesting.
So that's one of our things is we like to travel a little off the beaten path, usually, although some of those destinations are pretty popular.
Right.
We spent time in Senegal, Africa, which we loved, in the Caucasus Mountains, which is Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. And we just like to go to places where not a lot of people go.
Mm-hmm. So when you do go to those places, do you rough it or do you stay in nice places? To me, I'm thinking, she's going really off grid. Is she going to be like staying in people's houses or
usually we go Airbnb in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
So it usually turns out pretty well, and sometimes it surprises you. And then I got to sing when I was traveling from Azerbaijan to Georgia, going on the midnight train to Georgia. I was very excited by that. Because I was on a midnight train on a 16-hour train in like a Soviet Russian 1970s train.
Wow.
In Georgia. Not the Georgia in the song, but it worked.
That does sound very unique and quite memorable.
Yes. Always get yourself into some interesting situations, but those are the best stories to tell.
Wonderful. Wonderful fun. There she's got some crazy lights in the background. I'm not sure what those. That's pretty bad, but that may be a card crime happening right there, patrons. These little dots, but I don't know. I kind of like them. But I kind of don't like them at the same time. It's kind of like Cool Mary on that ad. We don't solve mysteries, but we do solve mysteries. So I think we're going to change course on this just a little bit. Just a little. Because you're doing fine. I'm doing okay. Cordelia Alderman, who I saw in the summit today, and she was saying, and she was cheerleading for Craft Roulette. Thank you, Cordelia. She said, you, Justine, are invited to a crafting event and refreshments are being served. Okay, so now we know that you like these interesting places. Let's find out about your refreshment tastes. What food and or beverage would you like to see on the refreshment table?
That is a good question. Like, this is just essentially a clever way of asking me what my favorite food and drink is. I'm guessing.
Your questions here often paint a scene first.
Yes, they do.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm really boring when it comes to beverages. So I am a water drinker. That's what I am, unless I decide to have a party and then it's a gin tonic. But, you know. And then my favorite food, especially at a party, any sort of barbecue salads, like taco salads, broccoli salad, and all of those salads that aren't really salads, you know, like marshmallows and God knows what in them. All of those are good.
The salads that really aren't salads, but are salads.
Are salads. Exactly.
Yeah.
We got our first card already.
Wowzer. Karen Goddard, you are you are quick draw. I'm telling you. That is remarkable. Well done, ma'am. I think I'm saving my bacon here. So do you have trouble, when you're in these exotic places, do you try local cuisine?
Yes, very much so. It's one of my favorite things to do. I used to be the pickiest eater as a kid, ever. I'm pretty sure I survived on like McCain frozen pizzas and Lipton chicken noodle soup my whole life. And yeah, kind of awful. And then when I was 14, my grandfather, who came from Italy, decided to take me with him. But he said I was only allowed to come if I eat everything on my plate. And so I decided that I was going to have to try food, and I actually discovered it wasn't half bad.
Italy is not a bad place to try food in.
Exactly. So I kind of developed a little interesting taste, and my husband lived in Taiwan for a while, so we really like Asian food and all those types of things. So so we like spice, we like sour, we like everything. So we're always cooking here at the Storm, and so we like the different cuisines, and we're not too afraid to try weird, odd things. I do have a seafood allergy though, so things don't get too odd.
Well, good for you. That's wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Patron Gloria Davis. We have wonderful questions. I'm telling you, I love the questions these ladies and gentlemen come up with. Gloria Davis asks, what do you find in crafting that is so different in Europe than Canada?
Oh. What I think is really cool is oftentimes you can tell a crafter where they're from based on their crafting. So I lived in Scotland for quite a while, and I noticed the British tended to still like a lot of the shabby chic look, kind of, I guess you could call it. Doilies and layers and textures and all of those ribbons and materials. And it was interesting coming from where I go often with the clean and simple look to see that. And then I find Germans are, you're familiar with the brand Alexandra Renke. It's very white, crisp, clean, light colors. Usually you can kind of tell a German crafter by that. So that's kind of interesting to see. I find the French are a little bit more artistic in their cards, cartoony, that kind of stuff. Comics play a role, or think of So it's interesting to the difference in crafting, and I do find that at least here in Germany, people are very, very creative with what they have, because the inspiration that's out there seems to all come from America, and usually the supplies aren't here. And so
Oh dear.
And so you have to kind of get really creative in what you're doing to try and manipulate something. So when I moved here, second time, I've moved back and forth a lot. In 2013, there were like no online shops. I couldn't really get anything. And now that's really changing though. The scene's changing for here for sure. So card making is becoming a little bit, stamping and things, it's starting to become more of a thing. Yeah.
Interesting. Do they have the direct sales kind of thing in Germany?
Stampin' Up! Is a thing here.
Okay.
Yeah, when I first moved here, that was one of the first things I searched for to, try and make friends.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually, since I moved this time back, I haven't sought anything out because I have all of my amazing people that I go on Zoom with and
right.
Yeah,
right.
So I get my crafting social life done there. Yeah.
Let's
see if there's, I'm in one of those moments right now where I'm like, less is more. Maybe I should stop, but I want to add things.
So when you started this whole summit, doing the background on it, was it born out of a desire to have less, or how were you first inspired to go, well, people really need to have some crafting organization help? What was the impetus?
It has nothing to do, I don't think, with having less. That's more of just my personal philosophy, which I don't recommend to anybody who doesn't like that. If you love your things, have your things.
Yes.
But I think what I found so sad was how many people would tell me that, they watched a video, bought supplies, and now they're just sitting there. Like, I want your supplies to be used and enjoyed and loved and things like that. So that's part of why I came up with the Paper Crafters Get Organized, because I always say organization looks different for everyone. But the one goal we have in common is that we want to craft and we want to be able to find the things that come to our mind. And that's going to look different to every day. I can craft in complete chaos and know where everything is. I can also be super neat. It depends on my day. And I'm doing it for the craft supplies. I'm doing it for the craft supplies, that they get used and loved.
Yeah. It's everybody's got different. Some people can do really well with oodles and oodles of supplies, and others just need it a little quieter. So but you can do a lot with a little. Yeah.
Quieter can even look, different for everybody as well. I mean, I have a class that I have for my VIP members that will come out to the public eventually, but it's all about the craft caddy. So it's, you can have, your hoarder situation in your craft room, it's fine. But grabbing a little caddy and filling it with certain supplies and then crafting just out of that bin can be just what you need to get that creative kick.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you have too many options, like it's a menu, if you go to a restaurant that has a menu with 20 pages, it can be overwhelming. But if you go to a menu with a limited selection, you're going to get something figured out.
Yeah. It's true, because you don't got a choice.
That's right. Chris Hovestall is a new patron to us, and she asks, you are one of my favorite people to watch on the YouTube. If you had to choose a favorite card making technique, which we kind of figured that one out, but what would it be? But instead of just what would that be, do you have something, if you look at 10 cards, they all have the same thing somehow?
10 cards you've made.
10 cards you've made.
10 cards I've made, absolutely.
Do you see a common denominator on all of them?
Yes, you will always see either gold Nuvo drops, or you will see gold confetti sequins. I like confetti sequins because they don't got the hole in the middle where the glue seeps through. So that you will always see on my card. You will generally always see some sort of die cut.
Yeah. Okay, so on your star, are you going to put it on the envelope then? Is that what I'm seeing? It already is? I didn't see that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a good way to use it.
Because you don't want to waste it.
Yeah, no.
And if I put it in my I'm going to use it one day drawer, it's not going to get used.
No, it's a terrible place to go. Grandma Gay always asks the thoughtful question of the day. And she asks, as a child, what was your favorite tree? What colors come to mind remembering it?
My favorite tree.
Yeah.
Tree, tree.
That's the very one.
Birch tree.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember, which is probably not environmentally friendly now that I think of it, always tearing off the birch bark to start campfires. And yes, that was one of my favorite things to do as a kid was have campfire.
That's funny. Well, I have a birch tree story in that we have birch trees in our fireplace right now that we will never burn. One is from the tree that I was married under in my dad's backyard. And then the other birch tree was from my in-laws' fireplace. And so I like birch trees too. I always think, and I was looking at some, in the spring I get this itch to plant things. And I was looking at birch trees and I was going, oh, we could have such a pretty birch tree in the front yard. But then I started thinking, Mary, you'd have to water it. You'd have to leave the craft room. You'd have to get somebody to come over here and plant it and all those things. You can enjoy somebody else's. You can even look in the fireplace and enjoy your own. So, yeah, birch trees are a nice thing. Well, I'm done. And it looks like you're done. So I'm going to go through this and see if I hit all those parameters so that Deputy Heidi doesn't come get me. So my card of choice was an A2 because it was safe. Strawberry fields, I used green, yellow, and red with some neutrals. Check, I think I did that. A chair, I've got a beach chair, and gingham or plaid. I made a plaid in the background on the mat, and I also made a plaid on her chair. So I think I got it. That's my card for 160, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm gonna make a quick adjustment just to make sure I really get the strawberry fields in.
It may just be part of a strawberry field. It doesn't have to be the whole strawberry field.
True. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't. Yeah.
All right. So I did strawberry field in the sense that I used a couple of shades of red to create the plaid, and I just did a little bit of ink blending on the envelope on the edges here in green. And I use Cherish the Season. So I really liked that idea.
Clever.
The chatterboxes. It was not my cleverness at 2:45 in the morning. I stuck with the A2 size card again. 2:45 in the morning. You don't want to be fooling around with measurements.
No, this is no time for a bridge card.
And I had a plaid background that I created with a stencil.
It's beautiful. It's great. You did well. I like it very much. I do. Congratulations. You did a whole lot better than I could have done at 2 in the morning. I do a lot of dreaming at 2 in the morning. That's about my card's extent, but that's good. I'm proud of you. I really am. Well, we're going to tell everybody else how they can play, and then we'll come back on and say goodnight if you're not already asleep.
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody's going to want to play because we do have some wonderful gifts coming up that only those who send in cards digitally can be eligible for. So how you do it? You go to craftroulette.live after you make a card using those 4 parameters, and you upload it on the form that's there. You have till Sunday night at midnight. And then if you want more time, you can be a patron of any level, and you have till Thursday night also at midnight. Then everything changes on the website, and it makes it very hard. So we do have some wonderful, wonderful guests coming up next week. We have another Canadian. That's 3 in a row. We have Mari Clark. After that, we get to meet Brandy Mahon, who is also involved with the summits, and I think leading the summits. After that, we get to meet Kathy Zilski. What a lot of fun that will be. Jama Malmy, our OG, our original guest, will be joining us, and then Eileen Hull, she's never been here. I'm looking forward to meeting her. Join us every week, Friday, 6:30 Central Daylight Time. You're always welcome. It's a lot of fun. We do want to thank our patrons, and I don't think I said welcome to our new patrons at the beginning. I was kind of sidetracked. And if you would share and give a thumbs up, I forgot that too. So if you would do that, that would be just fabulous. But we do want to welcome some wonderful new patrons this week. We have Donna Murphy Valley. I'm not sure. I think it's Valley, and that's a fun name. Chris Hovesall, Monica Monetti, Renee Cook, and Joy Wilson. Thank you guys so much for joining us and supporting our show so that we can be here every Friday and every Tuesday night. We really appreciate you. By the way, if you are watching Brenda Gentry, you are the birthday girl for the card party this next Thursday. So send me your parameters. You get to pick the parameters for the card party, and I will make you your birthday card on the show, on the Zoom call. It won't be much of a surprise. Oh, that is always means that we're going to give away some stuff. That confetti, it either means the show's starting, Patty Beck's card just came up, or it's giveaway time. So if you're sent in one of those cards last week, over 200 and something cards that we got with all those wonderful parameters, you did so great. Your name's up there. And we're going to give away some good stuff. Are you ready? We're going to give away what first, Mr. Producer? A handmade card with an itty-bitty gift. This is my original giveaway. And it's a big deal, let me tell you. Sometimes, yeah, it's big. It's big. Everybody fights for it. It's a big riot over the OG. It does go anywhere in the world. Wendy D. Congratulations, Wendy D, for winning the OG. Make sure you go to craftroulette.live and claim that prize as soon as the show is over. You have till Sunday night if you're not a patron. And for a Craft Roulette goodie bag, and it's a mega goodie bag this week. So I hope that it has to be in the United States because they're so stupid and expensive. Can't talk. Debbie Hansen. It's the middle of the night for her, and it's starting to affect my mouth. Very good, Debbie Hansen. Make sure you let me know if you want that wonderful goodie bag. It's full of good stuff. What's next? Paper Crafters. I've had so much trouble. Get Organized Summit, a VIP pass, so you can watch all those videos forever and ever. So when you're feeling like your room is all messy and you need a little pick-me-up, you can watch it again. Oh, Crystal Wyckoff, she is perfect. She will love that. Crystal, make sure you let me know that you want that, and I will get you all hooked up with getting that gift certificate for the VIP pass. Wonderful. Now for this calls for confetti. They have wonderful little dies and little bubbles for their shaker cards. I like them very much. Is going to Cindy Robinson. Cindy, congratulations. Let us know. You gotta let me know. For Whimsy Stamps giveaway, a $25 gift certificate. Who's gonna get it? Let's find out. Our spin sponsors are fabulous. We so appreciate them, and we try to, if you are going to be making some purchases, we do ask that you consider going to their shops. Kathy Holmes, well done. I think Kathy's pretty new.
Last one.
Our last one is the Cricket Card Summit VIP Pass,
Which is coming up in May.
Ooh! If you're a cricketer and your cricket's as dusty as mine, this may just be the thing you need. My crickets have kind of cough when I turn it on because there's so much dust. Kristen Metorano. Well done, everybody. Congratulations. Make sure you use your email that you sent the card in, because it does have a safeguard on that, and it is case sensitive. So be careful with that when you're sending in your request for your prize. What's going on with it's the dust in here. It's from my cricket. It's getting me all choked up. Well, let's get this girl back on the show so we can say goodnight to her. I'm totally overwhelmed by how well you did. You talked, you answered questions, you were cohesive more than I was. And I just think you just must have a superior mind
I'm a teacher. I talk for a living.
Oh, you got a point. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the sponsorship of the Get Organized Paper Crafter, and for doing that, because I think people really do just like, where do I start and what do I do next? Tomorrow is a whole nother day for it, and then Sunday as well, right?
Yes. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time, all sorts of new videos will be dropping for you to watch, get more inspired by. We have excellent Q&As with live speakers tomorrow as well. So you can actually ask your very specific questions you might have when it comes to craft organizing. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, it's been nice being part of your party. I've really enjoyed it. I hope everybody got to sit back and relax and just have a little crafty fun watching you go to town and learning so many interesting things about you.
Well,
You organize when you pack your backpack. Is it real organized? And you could do a thing on packing for crops.
Oh, no. I am only organized in my craft room. That's about it.
Crafting outside the craft room organization summit number 2. So
Yeah.
don't ask me. I never leave my craft room. I'm always right here on this stool. So, okay, well, it's this time of night where we kiss our brains. We remind everybody, send in those cards. We look forward to seeing them so that they will be featured Monday morning on the blog on our website. Tuesday, we play a new game called Who Done It, where we test your card detective skills. And your card, if it's sent in by then, may be the card that is on the case. Yes, we can't stop playing around here. And then next Friday, it'll be on the slideshow at 6:10. But before that, we have to kiss our brains. Plant a big one right there, sister. That's the one. You have really earned that big brain kiss. I'd give you a big smooch on the top of your head if you were here, because you have done a lot of work. You all stay safe. Chatterboxes, well done. Mr. Producer, excellent job. I'm so glad we could hear you. Well done, Justine. Thank you. Maybe we'll try it again next year.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks so much.
We'll see you all later. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.